When we are faced with challenges, whether whatever the challenges that you're facing right now, because of course everybody's got some challenges. We use our practice to help us stay grounded. We use our yoga practice to help us stay present. And depending on what's flowing through you, this can be very challenging to stay present and to stay adaptable to the constancy of things that are being thrown at us. And yesterday, I taught a lot about the nervous system and how important it is to soothe and regulate your nervous system to help us in these ways. And today, we're going to do a little bit different of a practice in the sense that yesterday's practice, if you want to go back and view the library, was quite restorative and really worked toward balancing the parasympathetic and sympathetic branches of the nervous system. But today I want to challenge a little bit the adaptability. So, when we are constantly being thrown things, we have to be able to respond. And this is challenging at times to be able to be like, okay, right now I have to get up and go. But then how do I get myself to calm down after my get up and go is abated? And if there's constancy of get up and go, and you never take those times to pause and replenish yourself, your adaptability to respond goes down. Our capacity to respond skillfully goes down if we're not taking time to care for ourselves. So I'd like for you to think about the ways in which your adaptability skills are really good right now. What have you gained this year in your adaptability skills? And where are you feeling like you're just constantly reacting instead of adapting? There's a big difference to feeling like you're always behind the eight ball a little bit. I think I have that expression right. You know what I mean? Like not always being up in front of a scenario and always reacting to circumstances instead of being that calm eye of the storm that when things swirl around you, you can be in that steady state to be present and observe and then act accordingly. So, our yoga practice is a tool to help us stretch the space between an event happening and our reaction to it, where we have the capacity to adapt and respond from a skillful place instead of from just always feeling like you're just trying to catch up and just trying to do the best you can in any given situation. So let's let our practice today give us tools to help us no matter what our circumstances are. We're going to kind of go back and forth between some efforting and some easing to help us know the sensation of rising up and then giving ourselves time to calm ourselves down. So close your eyes for a moment and let's pay attention to the ways, let's congratulate ourselves, right? Everybody literally give yourself a pat on the back to know all the strength that you have cultivated this year, the adaptability and resiliency that you've cultivated this year. And also to acknowledge the challenge of that maybe you have, like me, fallen on your face a few times and had to get back up. Okay, so whatever accomplishments that you've had, let's have gratitude and appreciation. And in the same moment, maybe notice the ways in which your adaptability hasn't been as skillful as you would like it to be. Is there anything that your practice can help you with? Is there a skill that you're developing to be in presence and to act instead of react, to have that capacity to respond to the moments, to know when you need to retreat? Is there anything your practice can do to help you cultivate those skills? So let's come into the breath, drop your weight down, let the earth hold you a bit. Cultivate that sense of connection and yielding. This presence we have with the earth can really support our well being if we allow it. And come into the flow and rhythm of your breath whatever emotional state, mind state, body state you are in. Can you be in the stream of it? Can you be in the flow of it instead of hiding from it or stagnating in a little stuck corner of it? Bring your breath and imagine yourself in a waterfall or in a river, something warm, something comfortable, where water is flowing. Maybe it's air. Choose an element, something flowing. Let the breath be this flow. Can you feel washed over where you're steady, stable, grounded, and yet at the same time, energy is moving through you, that you're not clinging. Allow yourself to lose your stickiness and come into the flow. How do your joints respond to that flow? Are you open and free? Is your breath supporting you? Can you move the breath? Can you stay in the movement of the breath? Let's go ahead and place the palms together at your heart and bow in. Stay connected to your breath and your body and let the flow of your practice be a part of your intention. What do you need the flow for? All right, let's release our hands and come onto our back. All right, so find your way onto a horizontal plane and then let your limbs move out. Okay, so get yourself wide. Imagine yourself on sand or warm grass or in floating warm water. Let your joints respond to the ease of that. So check in. Start at maybe your feet and check in with all your joints, your toe joints. Can you feel your ankles traveling up to your knees? Letting everything find a little softness. Even if there's pain or tension, just melt a bit, move up to your hips, into your sacroiliac joints, your pubic symphysis, traveling up through your spine, just feeling a sense of melting through your vertebrae. As you get up to your thoracic spine, feel the joints of your ribs as well as the joints of your spine. Travel that around to the front of your body and feel the cartilage connections of your ribs to your sternum and melt that all the way to your collarbones, out to your shoulders where your collarbones meet your humerus bones, where your humerus bones meet your shoulder blades, all the way to your elbows, your wrists, all the little bones in your hands, to your fingers. Coming back to the center of your heart, take a breath. Travel upward through your neck. Let the base of your skull rest. Feel your jaw. Relax all your skull bones. Just get a sense that your skeleton is mobile and movable and pliable, and that your joints represent movement. Your joints represent freedom and spaciousness. So let's whole body get the feeling that every joint that you have represents an opportunity for adaptability. Feel the freedom And notice if one joint stands out to you. Is there a joint calling to you? Take a full deep breath and start to move. Maybe stretch your arms overhead and feel the invigoration of a bit of a back bend. Open up your ribs. And then bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit. Soothe your sacrum, your low back. Let your nervous system respond to the rocking. Find your exhales. Let's circle the knees a few times, just massaging across the SI joints. Go the other direction. All right, and then right knee into the chest and left leg coming long on the floor. Find the breath again. Roll around your ankles and start to wiggle the toes. Feel the movement of these joints. Stay present with your breathing. Relax your head. Let it rest on the floor. Your shoulders are soft. Feel the compression in your knee and hip. And then release that and compress your left knee in and your left hip in. Keep moving your feet. Extend the spine. Come into the breath over and over. Every time you have a little gap in your intention of where you are in your body, just keep returning home to the breath. Can you hold two balls? Can you hold sensation in the body and the breath at the same time? Bring your knees back into the chest and see if you can let those two balls become one ball. So the breath becomes the flow in our bodies instead of something separate from us. Open up our body, stretch your limbs out, wiggle the fingers and toes. And then exhale and draw your knees in. Lift your head up around the spine. One more time, open your limbs out. Exhale, draw your limbs in. Roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. And finding your breath. Excuse me. I might have the sneezies too. Excuse me. All right, so let's go ahead and find some cat-cows. Feeling the movement of your vertebrae as best as you can. See if you can articulate each of those joints. How does it feel to feel free in your spine, to be adaptable, mobile, free? Is your breath here? Can you feel your shoulder blades move with your spine? Can you protract them, move them away from each other? Can you retract them and bring them toward each other? Just feel what's able to move freely and easily in your torso. Feel free to swivel around now, so lose your just extension and flexion and come into any movement pattern that the spine enjoys. Stay in your breath. Let go of the need for something spectacular to be present in your practice and stay with the simplicity of being in the body and breath. Curl your toes under, stretch your feet back, open up the bottom of your feet. So as you drop your hips back toward the heels for child's pose, the feet are broad and open. Spread the bones. Let your eyes of your feet look around. So big wide bottoms of feet. And then come back up, lift your feet off the ground, and we're just gonna sway, windshield wiper your feet left and right. So if your knees don't like this, that's okay. You can just be still and move your spine instead. But if you can move your feet and just be on your hands and knees, turn and look out over your foot, and you can go slow or fast. You can move with breath or past breath, faster than breath, whatever works for you. Just loosen up your low back a little bit. Breathing deeply. All right, and then come back, feet on the ground. One more time, a cat-cow, arching and rounding the spine. And let that rounded spine roll all the way back towards child's pose with a rounded spine. And then up you go, arch the back into a cow. And this time, keep the arch of the back and press back towards child's pose. We're going to do each of them one more time. So come back up onto all fours, round the spine. Take a breath out, maybe a breath in, stay in that rounded form and roll back towards child's pose. Then back up, arch the back, look up, tail up, and roll back to child's pose with your spine like this. And just feel the difference. Come back up onto all fours, curl the toes under and lift to dog pose. Stretch out those open feet, feel the extension through your spine. Breathe deeply here. Feel free to move around any way you want to move around. Do you want to pedal your feet? Do you want to sway your hips? What kind of movement pattern is your body asking for? Are you present? Can you melt the brain inside the skull? Can you release the joints in your head? How is the breath? Are you in the flow? Relax any tension in your neck. And then walk your feet forward and come into Uttanasana. Fold a bit, relax your head, wag your tail, anything that feels nice. Inhale for a halfway lift, stretch open your legs, the spine gets longer. Melt into your exhale, bend your knees. Push off your feet, rise up, reaching the arms to the sky. Open the chest, cactus, open the arms, see what feels nice. And then press your hands out toward the wall behind you. Take your arms a little further back than your chest. Open your chest up and then release the arms down. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open the shoulder blades, or the collarbones rather, and then melt forward. Bend your knees a lot. Let your neck relax. Take your arms away from the spine wherever they go. Release your hands down to the floor. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and flow forward. Step your left foot back. Right foot stays forward. Come into a lunge. Finding the breath here. Heart stays open. Find your breath. Let's go ahead and start to move. Straighten your front leg. Maybe your toes lift up. Bend your front knee. Maybe your chest lifts up. Just going back and forth. See what your breath does for your flow. Are you in the presence of your spacious joint, your open breath, your moving body? Does it feel good? Okay, let's place our back knee down onto the ground. Rise up, reaching the arms to the sky. Hug your front heel and back knee toward each other. Find that stability as you rise up. Finding breath here. Open up the hip flexors of that back leg. Expand open your chest to a cactus arm here. Exhale and round the spine. Interlace your fingers. Stretch your arms away. The back rounds a bit. Inhale, rise up with your hands connected. Interlace your fingers. Tip your head back and open the chest. Hug your front heel and back knee toward each other. And then release your hands down to the ground. Take a step forward, come into Uttanasana, melt again. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and step your right foot back. Left foot comes forward to a lunge. Stay with your breath, move with your breath. Start to square the hips, straightening the front leg a bit, tuck chin, lift toes. When you bend your knee, lift your heart. Just coming back and forth. Feeling how nice it is to be in the body. So touch places. Touch your awareness into the body, into the breath. Stay in your flow. Let's go ahead and find the lunge. Place your back knee down onto the ground. Go ahead and lift your arms, extending through the spine. Feel your stable legs. So hug front heel and back knee. Open up the chest. Maybe your cactus arms come here too. Find the breath and then exhale and round in. Interlace your fingers the other way. Protract your shoulder blades, spread them apart, and then inhale and lift up. Fingertips pointing to the sky. Lean your head back. Stay stable through your core and your legs. Hold yourself with a sense of strength. Deep breath. Exhale. And bring your hands down onto the ground. Step back either to all fours or a plank. You can always come onto your forearms if your wrists can't handle this. Finding the breath. Shoulders down away from the ears. And then let's go ahead and melt our way down to the floor. Roll your shoulders a few times here. Get up toward your ears, then up toward the sky and down. Feel how mobile your shoulder blades are. Rise up to cobra when you are ready. Keep your body stable, so don't overdo the back bend. Exhale and come down. Feel the stability in your pelvis, your glutes, your core. Come on up. Try not to hold the breath. Let your exhales let you down. Okay, last time. Maybe you want a different position with your arms. And then relax and melt down. Have your hands hovering off the earth, just a little hovercraft. Elbows pull back toward the pelvis and lift just a bit. So we're not going into full back bend, we're just engaging the back body. And then exhale and release that down. Come up onto all fours. Feel some movement through your spine, any kind of wiggles you need. Stretch your left leg straight back behind you, your right arm out in front of you. You can always put your fist on the ground or your forearm on a block if your wrists can't handle this movement. Finding the breath, stabilize through your core, feel your glutes. Deep breath in, exhale, hug in. Inhale, bring it out. This time we're bringing an arm and the leg out to the side. So toes turn toward the floor, stabilize through your core. Finding the breath. And then come back to center. Deep breath in. Exhale, elbow and knee underneath you. Inhale, bring it out again. Place that hand and knee down onto the ground. Change sides. Have your leg and arm in opposition. Feel the stability. Support your wrist if you need it. Feel your glutes turn on and your hamstrings. When you're ready, elbow and knee coming into you. Are you staying in the flow? Even though we're starting to work a little harder, can you stay in the presence of your breath? Out to the side with your arm and leg. Turn the toes toward the floor. Stay stable with your knee on the ground, hugging all the way up into that hip. Engage your core. And then come back to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, elbow and knee driving underneath you. Inhale, bring it on out. Place the hand down onto the ground. Toes curl under, dog pose. Big breaths here. See if you can balance the effort of your practice with staying present with ease. Relax your head. Every opportunity you get to be centered and calm, despite what you're doing in your body, whether you're moving or staying still, whether you're working hard or finding ease, can you feel yourself as the center of the storm? Find the flow of your breath. This presence we cultivate in our practice transforms the way we react in the world. It truly does. I know all of you have had experiences where you've leaned into your practice when you need it. Okay, let's walk forward. Come into Uttanasana, fold, bend your knees. Inhale, spacious joints. Spine gets longer, knees are soft. Exhale and melt back down. Push off your feet. Rise up, reaching the arms to the sky, finding the breath. And then let's open up the heart, arms out to the sides. Stand on your right foot, lift your left leg up to start to wake up the balance in your body. Something simple to begin. Drop the shoulders, soften your knee you're standing on. Go ahead and switch legs. You can choose any position you want with your arms. Let's notice, do you have a favorite side? Do you have more consistent stability on one side? Do you like one side more? So let's allow ourselves to have an enjoyment and curiosity with both sides of balance. And then put that foot down. Touch your toes unless you need a block between your knees for chair pose, in which case put that block there. Reach the arms up, exhale, and come down. If you're able to maintain the arms up, do so. But of course, if your shoulders need a different position, or if your breath needs a different position, take a different position with your arms. Drop weight into the heels, take your knees back into the hips, find the breath. We're gonna stand up on our right foot, hover the left leg in the air, feel the work here, and then we're gonna stand up, lifting that knee to the sky again. Exhale, back to chair pose. 2 feet on the ground, weight yourself evenly. Take a deep breath in, exhale, arms down at your sides. Inhale, all the way up, 2 feet, tippy toes. Find your muscles in your feet waking up. Heels down, chair pose. Send your weight into your left foot, over the right leg off the ground. Finding the breath. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And then we're gonna stand up. Don't worry if you're wobbly, stay present no matter the wobbles. Lift the knee, open the chest, how are your shoulders? 2 feet on the ground, chair pose. You can change your arm position if you need to. Exhale and fold down. Hang out here for a moment, stay low. Heads of the arm bones lifting toward the sky, palms are facing down. Engage the back body, support with the front body. Reach your crown and tail away from each other. Draw your knees way back into your hips. Breathe. Eye of the storm, stay present. Stay in the flow of your breath. Come on up to chair pose, and we're gonna climb all the way up to our toes again. If you're dizzy, just keep your heels down. And then release your feet to the floor. Separate your feet hip width apart. Have breath here and yield. Ground yourself. Feel free to move. Okay, inhale, rise up. Arms coming to the sky. Exhale, fold in half. Relax your head. Stay present in the breath. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Left foot back, right foot coming forward. This time our knee is off the ground and we're gonna climb up again. Reaching the arms, finding the breath, and then let's cactus the arms open. Feel the movement of your ribs. Open the chest, and then exhale and protract the shoulder blades, forearms together. Interlace your fingers, stretch your arms out, interlace your index finger, or unlace your index fingers up toward the sky. Find your way into, you can always place your back heel down on the ground, open the chest. And then from here, we're gonna turn and open up into warrior two. All right, so as you're working, see if you can stay present with the breath. Stay present with the breath as much as you can. Find the ease in your joints like we found on the floor. Is there a place for you to balance effort and ease? If you can find the little hint of ease within your work, this is the eye of the storm that we're always calling for. Gaze out over your fingertips, breathe fully, root into your feet well, finding the breath. Reach the arm up, deep breath here, stay present, stay in your lunge. Bring your elbow onto your knee and open up your heart. Maybe your arm lifts over your head, maybe it does not. Stay grounded through your feet. Reinvigorate the work in the posture. Feel your legs resign to the fact that they're here. Let them be here. Let them enjoy being here. Root into the earth. Expand, open. Stay in your breath. And then one more time. Virabhadrasana 2. And then stand up straight and tall. Turn back to the front of your mat. Come into dog pose again. And now feel the difference between your two sides. Having done those standing poses on one leg and not the other yet. Breathe here. Melt what you can. Relax your brain against your skull bones. Let your skull bones be soft. Find your breath over and over. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Let's go ahead and put your knees down on the floor for a moment, and we're all going to come into a forearm plank. You can always take your hands on a block instead of the floor. Move your shoulders away from the ears and step your feet back. So as we start to dissipate the energy from our legs, we're bringing it into the center body. Find your breath. See if you can feel the shoulder blades stabilizing. A balance point between protraction and retraction. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Feel the center of your body hug around you without tightening your breath. Can you still breathe well? Inner thighs lifting, femur bones lifting. All right, let's come down to the ground. Take your arms back behind you, palms facing the floor. Take a deep breath and lift your whole body up, arms and legs. Legs can be close or far. Back of the neck stays long. Breathe here. Feel your diaphragm. Okay, exhale. Melt. Turn your head one way or the other. Pick up your feet. Have a moment of ease. Are you adaptable? Can you go from one state of working hard to another state of gentle surrender? Let your body, the prone body on the ground, melt. What does it feel like to have your whole front side on the earth? All right, let's go ahead and come back onto your hands and your knees. Feel free to swivel around. So treat your spine with the care that it deserves. So if there's anything that nourishes you right now, do it. And then as you're ready, curl the toes under and stretch open again, dog pose. Deep extension. Bend your knees a lot. Maybe even bend your elbows. Hug in toward the pelvis and the shoulders and let the spine elongate. All right. Let's go ahead and take the left foot forward, coming into a lunge on this side. Rise up, finding the breath. A full crescent lunge now. Arms coming upward. Let's open to a cactus again. Spread open your wings. And then exhale and close up your wings. Interlace your fingers and stretch your fists forward. Undo your index fingers and let them point forward. Rise up. Maybe your back heel wants to come on the floor now. Tip your head back. Open the chest without dipping into the low back. Can you get expansive and free in your thoracic spine and stable in your pelvis and lumbar spine? How's your breath? All right, let's turn and open up into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 on this side. So always take care of yourself. Let effort be, but within the range that's safe and comfortable for you. So remember always, we're looking for stability and breath. So if either of those go away, you need to back away from your posture. Relax the shoulders, feel your roots. Can you have a sense that you can work hard, but stay soft? What does that feel like in your body to have spacious joints, to have relaxed shoulders, to have your breath moving well, to feel deeply yielding and grounding, to work hard without it affecting other parts of your body so your neck does not have to hold the work of this pose. If you can't breathe, change something. Sometimes as simple as bringing your arms down can make all the difference in your ability to breathe. Stay rooted, drop the shoulders. When you're ready, reverse, coming into some extension through that side, and then go ahead and find Parsva Konasana on this side. So feel free to have a moment. You can straighten your leg and return. If you just need a second of some juice flow in through the thigh, open the chest, find your way here again. Root, yield, ground. Find the spacious joints. How are your elbows, your wrists, your hands feeling? What is your jaw doing? The base of your skull. Seek out the joints that do not have to be in anything other than neutral. All right, then come on up. Spin back one more time, coming into dog pose, and start to notice if dog pose feels.
Jenny, we can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you either.
Huh. I don't know why.
It's not completely gone, just very faint.
Okay, I turned my volume up as high as it can go. So
Okay.
I'm
Now I
so
can
happy-
hear you.
Okay.
Now,
I can stay right here and just talk while you guys do the poses. Okay, so
no, it's okay. I think it's back to normal now.
okay, good. Come back to dog pose. Take a breath here. And then come down into a plank or forward into a plank again. Finding the breath. All right, let's go ahead and put our knees down for a moment. And then take your forearms down onto the ground. So we're going to go back and forth between a plank and the dog or dolphin pose. So let's start in dolphin pose. So the forearms are in line with the shoulders. We're going to lift our hips up. So we're in dog pose body on our forearms. Lift the spine. Take a deep breath in here. Relax your head. Are you able to stay soft and quiet in the mind and the breath, despite the efforting in the body? Can you adapt to be responsive? And if you can't, know that too. Know when you need a break. Walk your feet back and come into a forearm plank. If you need a break, put your knees down. There's always ways to offer modifications so that you're staying in whatever state you are most responsive in. If you lose your breath, if you lose your stability, if you start to get wonky in your balance or in your alignment, this is a cue that rest is needed. Okay. All right, let's back up. Dolphin pose one more time. Lift the hips, thigh bones back. Find your breath. All right, and then come to rest, knees down onto the ground, and find child's pose again. Relax your head. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Put your arms where you want them. So find that it's very subtle, rapid change in the nervous system where you go from that sense of efforting, where the sympathetic drive is alive, to balancing it to the deep rest. Are you able to change quickly from one place to another, from effort to ease, from ease back to effort? Is there the yin yang kind of vibe where you have a little ease within the effort? You have a little aliveness within the ease. All right, let's go ahead and find our way back. Almost done with the upward stuff and almost on the ground. Find dog pose one more time. Deep breath in, melt, find the ease within the effort. And then walk your feet forward and come into Uttanasana. Push off your feet, rise up. We're going to stand on our right foot and reach back and grab your left foot. If you can't reach, use a strap. You can always wrap a strap around your ankle if you need it. Try not to let your knee come out to the sides. Stay stable. Kick your foot into your hand. Lift your pubic bone toward your navel. Descend the tailbone. Let the standing leg have some yielding. Soft knee, rooted foot, hip in. Reach the arm up in the air, extend, lift up your heart, and then kick that foot into the air as you come forward into dancer pose. So remember, there's not a destination. There's nowhere to go. Try to keep your shoulders and your pelvis and your ribs facing the front of your mat instead of tipping open to the side. Soften the knee you're standing on. Extend through your crown. Let your neck soften. Try not to fall with your floating ribs. Integrate the spine, or integrate the ribs toward the spine. Okay, great. Come on up. Bring the knee forward. Find a simple twist here. Well, it's not so simple, but find a twist. Open the chest. And then go ahead and rest your foot down onto the ground. Shake out your feet. Shake out your hands. Let go of the pose. Deep breaths, melt. So find that quick adaptability from the effort into the ease. When you're ready, let's find the second side. So you can always support your hand on something if your balance is a little challenging to you. Grab onto your ankle or a strap. Try to keep your standing leg stable. So we're not sticking our hip out. We're not locking our knee back. We're keeping our hip in and our knee soft, yielding foot. Reach through the crown, arm up in the air. Find the breath and start to tip forward. Try to keep the ribs, the shoulders, the pelvis toward the front instead of opening to the side. Soften the knee you're standing on. You can even have a little bend in that knee if it feels better. It's more work in some ways, but it's more stable for joints. Extend the spine. How's your neck? Are you able to stay in the breath? Even if your balance is all over the map, can you stay in the breath? Kick your foot into that hand. Is this your side you're less dominant on? Can you find comfort and ease here? And then let's rise up. Bring your knee up in front of you and twist. Stabilize that standing leg, drop the shoulders, open the breath, relax. All right, let's go ahead and put the foot down onto the ground. Find ease, melt into your posture. If you want to move, shake. If you want to be still. Deep breath in, deep breath away. Rise up with your arms. Exhale and bend your knees. Float forward, relax your neck. Inhale for a halfway lift. And exhale to come back down. Bend all your knees, both of your knees, come down onto the ground. And find your way onto your back. Open your limbs out one more time. Melt your joints on the floor. We're not done with the work yet, but just feel that mini moment of surrender. Can you take advantage? You know, throughout our day, we often have mini moments, whether it's sitting at a red light, waiting while you're on hold on the phone, any moment that you can pause, whether it's consciously trying to stay present or just a waiting moment. We have this time to feel ourselves, to be present. Feel the breath come into the flow. All right, let's bend our knees now. Put our feet flat on the ground. We're going to move into some flowing bridges. So heels close in toward the pelvis, feet are neutral, so pointing straight. For some people, that means you feel a slight pigeon toe-ness in order to not turn our feet out. So try to sense whether your feet are straight. Inhale, pelvis up, arms come up overhead, come into the flow. Exhale and lower your pelvis and your arms down at your sides. Finding the breath, a couple more times. Lift the hips, lift the arms. Exhale, drop the hips, drop the arms. One more time. Finding the breath. Now, the next time you breathe in, we're going to come up and stay. So arms down at your sides, rock onto the tops of the shoulders, lift the hips. You can interlace your hands underneath you, or you can have your arms down at the sides, backs of the hands, pressing into the earth. Keep the neck neutral. Try not to push the neck into the floor. Open up the breath. Find the balance of effort and ease. Melt your forehead. Melt the eyes. Feel the effort in your legs, your glutes. Stabilize your feet. All right, and then relax and come down onto the ground. Under your shoulders, be neutral. Feet are moving further apart, so they're at least hip width apart, and windshield wiper your knees left and right. Does your practice make you feel more pliable, more adaptable, more mobile, more intuitive? And I don't just mean like in your joints. I mean in your mind too, your thinking, your emotional responses, your physical body. How does your practice change you? Okay, let's go ahead and roll over onto our side. We're going to grab our 2 blocks, and you can do any variation of this that you want. So for today, I'm in the mood for doing heart bench like this with my block in between my shoulder or across my shoulder blades. You might be in the mood for it being long under your shoulder blades. You might be in the mood for some other supported back bend. So you do you. Okay, so whatever feels nice. Maybe you don't want your head supported. Maybe you want your head tipped back and your forearms interlaced. Maybe you want much more support than this and you want your head higher. So just experiment with how you want your props to feel today so that you can be in a state of ease. So chest open, spacious and free. Do whatever you want with your legs and your arms. How are you best supported in your body? Once you settle, if you're like, nope, something's wrong, then make an adjustment. Change something. Change the way your props are. Change the way your limbs are. Just choose whatever pathway is going to give you a sense of surrender. And then see what it feels like to let go. Scan those joints again and melt them. Keep yourself open and available. Stay in the presence of your breath. All right, let's deepen our breathing. Let's go ahead and roll over onto your side and come out of that pose. Come onto your back. Lie flat for a moment, then bring your knees into your chest. Let's rock a little bit left and right. Circling the knees. And then we're going to find our way into happy baby pose. Hold your feet. Maybe you want to still be rocking a little bit. Maybe stillness is better for you. Feel free to modify this in any way that feels best for your spine and legs and hips. Right foot over left knee, reverse a pigeon. Feel free to flip over to full pigeon if you're like, oh, I'd much rather do that. Then you do you. Okay? If you're really trying to work with the ease, put your foot on something so your arms don't have to do any of the work. Whatever you're choosing, no matter how much effort is involved, can you melt? Find the balance point of staying in the flow of your breath, the presence of your body, mind in this moment. Stay in the flow. When you're ready, you can come to the other side. So just depending on how you're choosing to be in the pose, you can be in pigeon pose, you can be in reverse pigeon pose. In reverse pigeon pose, you can choose to put your foot on a wall or a piece of furniture so you don't have to hold your leg with your arms. If you're in pigeon pose, try supporting underneath your head. Having our forehead supported is a really good way to tune the nervous system into ease. As we find our way out of the second side, just choose how you need to move into Shavasana. Do you need a little twist at all, or another happy baby pose, or a big open stretch in the body? So whatever you need to settle yourself for Shavasana, go ahead and take your time. And remember, Shavasana is this gift of restoration. So if you find yourself not able to adapt quickly and easily to the states of your nervous system and responding to what's happening in your life, you need more rest. You need more nervous system replenishment. And Shavasana is this gift. So be present for it. Get comfortable. Bring your limbs into a place of ease and support. Melt your body into the earth. Stay in that state of flow with the breath. And one more time, can you scan your joints and melt? Let's find our breath again. And remember that which is hard and brittle will break. And the part of us that is yielding and flowing will sustain. So let's stay in that yielding, flowing state as much as possible as we transition. Coming out of Shavasana slowly, bring movement. Find your way onto your side. Come up to sit as you're ready. And see if you can feel the yielding, flowing state of the mind, of the body, of the breath. And know that this is available to you all the time. So you can drink in these waters whenever you need. Place your palms at your heart and offer your practice outward flow, your energy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.